Hi, the baby. You want to lock her in here and let
We
Rudy
were
out of his room?
discussing important things before we got on stream, and before that, I was taking care of La Kitans. But you guys all knew the stream was going to happen, and that's what matters. And there's a puppy.
That's a big puppy.
So that means Orion heard something.
Yeah.
Problem. My camera outside is dead right now. Hold on.
Don't worry, she's just yelling at the dogs. Hi, Jay. How's it going? 2024 has been pretty good here so far. Ah, crap. Why is that saying that? That shouldn't say that. Gotta go fix that. Twitch is telling people I'm playing Pal World. I'm not playing Pal World.
I'm having to wake up Starman, but I'm already in the high heels and I really don't feel like taking them off. So I'm going to have Starman go look outside, but I think he just fell asleep. So
I can't blame you on that one. Ah, he didn't listen to me. Crap. Nope, wrong button. Change that. Hey, thank you. Okay. Sorry. I can't hear you. Oh, you're talking to Matt. Never mind. We're good.
She could tell by the fact that it mouthed babe. Starman's going to check right now for me.
Okay, good.
I need you guys to understand, in order for me to make sure I can be on stream because Orion will come over, or if I really have to run off, I have to make sure I have this in hand and I have this in hand. And here's why. This is to shut up Orion. And this is to shut up Sunny. Because Sunny has gone to absolute, like, violent proportions around Orion. And not so much Greta, but still Orion. And, like, to the point where he'll launch. And it's gotten so bad now, Orion has snapped at him. And we're talking, like, and I'm not talking, like, little snap. Like, he waits for Sunny to jump by, and he's going for the midsection. And I'm like, I don't blame Orion. He feels like it's a threat.
Because it is a threat.
It is a threat. That's why, not happening. Not letting that continue. So Sniper Starson, yeah, this shit. I can hit them from at least 15 feet away. Do you see anything, babe?
I should get one of those spray bottles for when the dogs are barking.
Lowe's, $3.
I don't have a Lowe's. Wonder if I can get it at Home Depot.
Babe?
I think so.
Was there anything? Well, thank you. I didn't know you were going to go outside. I just wanted you to look out the window. All right.
As long as you got dressed.
Have to ring off the door and bring it in so I can charge it. Piece of shit. Anyways. So, what Horror and I were discussing, Ocean State. Oh, I missed my Ocean State. The bottle say Ocean State? No.
It's a Zep.
Yeah. So Horror and I were discussing, and I have alluded to it on other streams I've been on. We have had to cancel certain plans for this year, guys. I don't know if any of you have been paying attention to New York City. It's gotten a little wild, a lot of wild. The migrant crisis has become so severe that Horror and I genuinely don't feel we would be safe. And you know me, normally I don't shiv it. I'll run the risk. But one, it's not just me. She's going to be there as well. Sheep will be there as well. It's not fair to put the two of them through that so I can be stubborn. And on top of that, I'm not going to have my husband there because I have a menagerie here. He's got to be here with the animals. So someone has to be here to take care of them. And also, he won't be able to get that much time off of work. So, also, expensive.
Very expensive.
Like, I was able to find an Airbnb for a cheap price, but I wasn't able to put the money down for it yet. And I won't be able to until I pay off a couple of things. So, New York.
Then how good of an area is it going to be in?
It was supposed to be down in Times Square, but it was like, so the benefit of Airbnb, so Ryan, what are you doing, bud? And benefit of Airbnbs, and I found this with Vegas as well, which I wish I had done the last time I went, but okay, sarah, is a lot of people will buy high-end apartments.
Oh yeah.
And they'll make bank on Airbnbs because whereas you and I are only going to get charged $300, well, them making $300 on tourists every 3 days, that's really good money for them, and so on and so forth. I like that door, by the way.
Yeah, it's an old door.
I like it. The better question is, where is it wild?
Huh?
Heckin's like, the better question is, where isn't it wild? Where I live.
Where I live, it's
very
quite tame here.
Yeah. If I was gonna stay somewhere for a week, I have no problem staying in Charlotte or Raleigh. I know for a fact the shit that's going on in New York, the migrant crisis is so bad right now that New York cops are getting jumped, beat up, and then the migrants that caused it are not getting deported. They aren't even getting arrested. They're getting immediately released, and they were actually flipping off cameras when they did it. That was this week, before I made this decision. And on top of that, they just showed another video last night. This woman got dragged 20 feet because a migrant on a moped decided to steal her phone, but they grabbed her sleeve in the process and slammed her into a barrier bar. Just like, I know that it would take a lot of mopeds to drag me, but I'm not willing to find out how many.
We don't need to find out if there are roving moped gangs that are just looking to drag fat chicks. So
I'm not in the mood for it. And my thing is, it was horror that made the point. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but enjoy it while it lasts. It's not going to happen here like that. There's too many guns.
Way too many guns.
You got to realize something, Heckin. In gun country, it's not like that. Even during COVID, I never had a lot of the problems the rest of the country had. And I still don't. Because, and I found guns I want to buy. I don't shiv and get how girly this sounds. I found the cutest 22, and it's all purple glitter and Tiffany blue. And your bitch saw that price tag and said, guess what I'm going to be buying before the end of this year.
I just have a revolver. I need more guns.
But, bro, California, the border states, right, this has been happening for a long, long time in those states. And the only reason it's happening in New York and other sanctuary cities is because literally they kept trying to shame the border states and the border cities for doing this. But they've a revolver you haven't shot. Ooh, Darlin is...
Shh, don't tell them that! I have bullets, and they've been in it too. I just haven't taken it out to the. You know what? That's what she was saying.
But anyway, so like I was saying, it's if we allow things to continue the way they are, obviously it would happen. But that's not the case. You already see the tide is turning. But that's not the point of the conversation. Whether or not anyone can gaslight me or anything, I ain't going, because the fact of the matter is, I would rather make New York State suffer and not get any business out of me, which the thing is, tourism is dropping as a result.
Mm-hmm.
New York has been a tourist destination for years. Well, the thing is, they're taking up all the hotels and other places where tourists would stay and filling it with migrants. So fuck them. They're not helping the ample thousands of homeless people in New York City who have been living there for years. No, they're putting up illegal immigrants. So, fuck them. Anyways, so we decided, and Hara made the suggestion, and me, I'm open for it. We're actually going to go to Montana.
Well, she's going to Montana. I'm just going to stay here.
She's going to stay there. I'm going to come to her. And we're trying to aim. What was the name of the museum you recommended?
I'll have to look it up again, because it's like the Natural Museum of the Rockies or something like that. It's in here somewhere. Hold on, I'll look it up again.
And the other thing we are definitely going to try to do is we're going to try to go to Yellowstone. And I really, really want to do both these things. There's the third place we want to go, which is Glacier. I don't know if that's going to be possible. It's kind of hard to get into.
I mean, we can go to Glacier. The problem is more finding somewhere to stay in Glacier.
Right, because,
and it's a long drive.
It's a lot of driving, which I've made sure, part partly she can't get mad at me if I suggest any long distances because it was her idea to go to Montana. So
I live in Montana. I basically assume that it's going to be a long distance.
he says she wants to come, dude. Dead ass. If you come, remember you're going to be on camera, because it's going to be part of the meetup. We're not going to just do this, just so I can say, hey, I'm here. This is going to be, you know, we're obviously letting you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if you want to join us on these outings,
it's the Museum of the Rockies.
Right. We understand that when it came to New York, it's obviously, despite being crazy, a lot more accessible. You know, a lot more people have a chance to drive into New York. Like, you could get a hotel an hour outside of New York City and then drive in or take a train in or something and all that shit. This is a lot more difficult and further out than most people are going to go. But we're still extending that invite. This is still going to be an anniversary thing. This is still going to be a meetup thing, because as a matter of fact, I think either today or next week is officially a year we've been doing.
Has it been a year already?
A year. We did it in February last year.
Wow.
Right?
I didn't realize it'd been a year.
Feels so weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Before we were just like casual friends, and now we're like every Monday and we're sharing all. Like, it is very fun to know that I have somebody that I can have animal conversations with, and there's never a moment where she's like, I don't get it. or I don't care. I know that anytime I am having some animal drama of any form, like the thing I showed you the other day.
Oh my God.
So fucking stupid. Which I'll go over, guys, because you know the dog group is the gift that keeps on giving. Whatchamacallit. This is a celebration not just of the animal stream, which you guys have absolutely open arms welcomed. You know, we didn't think anyone would log into this. Frankly, we didn't think we'd get double digits of anybody, and we've had, I think, our highest amount of people was 30 at one time.
Wow.
And yeah, I think that was like spring. Because when we were really more consistent with being on every Monday.
Really weird how that works.
I know, right? When you're consistent and you do what you're supposed to do. Fuck.
Show up on time.
On time. Who does that? I used to, and then it's like, whatchamacallit. Chaco was a self-fulfilling prophecy. She kept saying I'm always late, and I was never late. And then I just started, like, I think as like a fuck you, fine, I'll be late. I just started being late, and I haven't stopped since. Like, I've just stopped. So Chaco, I know you watch this in the future. It's your fault.
At least I know who to blame.
Right, exactly. And so, but all jokes aside, it's definitely a matter of hi Penny. And it's definitely a matter of, I think it's worth it for us to do this. And we definitely want you guys to join us. And I think it is going to be very, very fun when we go. It's just not going to be New York City.
Yeah. Well, we'll get you some more direct locations and everything so y'all can plan, because, you know, if you start planning now, you could actually probably get up here reasonably cheap. Just saying.
Which is why I'm planning for, we're still thinking September, October, right?
Yeah.
Originally, we had an actual set date when we were going to do the museum, because with New York, you have to do set dates. But now we have to rearrange some stuff, also because nature is a lot more unforgiving in Montana. So we have to plan around nature. Is it consistency or viscosity?
Depends on if you're talking about your schedule or pudding.
Or blood.
Mm.
But anyways, whatchamacallit.
I want some pudding.
Pudding would be good. Regardless, have fun. I agree. I'm excited because, one, Montana is one of the best places for fossils. And it's like, you know, that's dino country. So kind of stoked.
I can probably look up a couple places to take her where she can find something.
Well, because, like, was it on here? Or was it on, like, Tuesday that we were looking at the fossils on Fossil Era?
No, that was on here.
On here.
I think.
I sent Starman the list. He's like, are you sure it's legit? I'm like, it's legit. Okay. I have seen fossils go off there.
No, we're not going. No, we've decided not to go to New York City, Mephisto.
Also scheduled. Exactly, Mephisto. I am very good at pre-planning and scheduling stuff. I know plenty of people who aren't. Like, for instance, today my boss calls her. She's like, are you working today? I'm like, yes. And she asked me meaning this stuff. And I was like, yeah. She goes, what about tomorrow? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
And she said, I wanted to go to Louisiana. What?
So go on Wednesday, I guess.
Right. And I was like, hi, Toasty.
Hey, Toasty.
And whatchamacallit, like, that is the very Rhode Island thing of me. I'm up for all the things. I can take a 10-day trip. I can take a 2-hour trip. You gotta warm my ass ahead of time, because I need to plan everything. I don't like just willy-nillying it, random ass shit. Not
Joker.
And she's like, well, it's just, and she started telling about these things she wanted to do related to the restaurant, and I was like, but babe, I got 16 reasons why I can't go on a whim. I'm like, and on top of that, I got all these responsibilities all around here. And that's the thing, like, a lot of the people I know don't have as many, like, I guess I don't realize how busy I've made myself and how obligated I've made myself to certain situations until someone's like, you want to go do this? And I'm like, well, and Monday nights I can't, Tuesday afternoons I can't, Sunday nights I can't, Sunday evenings I can't. And when I put it all together, I'm like, I'm very happy with my schedule until somebody tries to throw a wrench in it, and then I'm like,
Wait a second, you want me to do something off schedule? Oh.
I have to cancel. Like, I love Dangerous Rhetoric with a passion. Every Sunday, they invite me to a stream at the exact time I'm supposed to be at my dad's. And my dad will say, like, you can go when. I'm like, no, because you know what's going to happen? I'm going to get a fruits basket thing. That's going to be the 1 week. And the next thing you know, my dad drops dead and I regret never. Nope. Not doing it. Nope. And, you know, it's like, that's just how I am. Once I have made a commitment, didn't want to get out of that commitment. Just, I'm in. Penny's very happy about it. In case you guys haven't noticed, I've got a different chair. It's a little sentimental. This was my mom's chair from her office. And Penny likes it because it's a real chair. And only problem is, so it's comfortable. I can fit in it. It holds my weight. I am once again too short for this chair. As a matter of fact, this chair is taller than the last chair. I was not prepared. And now I absolutely have to wear the high heels because my feet truly dangle. They only dangled a little bit before, but now I can do full kickies. So I'm wearing the high heels, but the benefit is my knees are much happier because I've been sitting there, like, the old chair had leaned forward so far enough that no matter when I sat in it, my knees were getting the pressure. I was so, yeah. She laughed at me. She goes, you can't win. I'm like, nope. 'Tis my lot in life. But so we wanted to let you guys know, starting off with all of it, that it's Montana. It's gonna be sometime either September or October. And you know the two definitive destinations we are definitely gonna go for. Anything else that we plan to go for, we're still not sure if we're doing a 2-week jaunt or a 1-week jaunt. We have to make sure that Horror and Sheep will like me enough for that, because they're going to be seeing a whole lot of me during that time. So we need to decide on that as well.
Well, and then you have to take my mother into account. So.
Yeah.
And she's seen you, so.
I know, right? she's that's why they take us so long to decide. She's still deciding. But, you know,
Darylyn.
There's also the chance of me getting I sleep. Good evening, gang. Good evening, Darylyn. And whatchamacallit, there's still the chance of me getting a hotel. We don't know. There's so many things we have to keep into account. But
there's some good extended stays, and we could also decide to center it in Missoula as opposed to here, or down in Billings as opposed to here. And honestly, we'll probably be traveling a lot because it's a big state. And a lot of people seriously underestimate how big this state is. You think you're driving, and because y'all are stuck up on top of each other, you don't realize when I say I'm going to another city, it means I'm taking a long trip to another city.
Yep. And see, I understand it just because You had to have grown up in Rhode Island, where everything is small. And as soon as you leave Rhode Island and you realize it should not take you 5 minutes to drive through any city.
Oh, it'll still take you 5 minutes to drive through a city. Sometimes it'll take you like 30 seconds, but it's getting to that city. That's the difference.
No, you don't understand. 5 minutes, one city, 5 minutes late. Like they're all right next to each other. Like you're not going from if that was the one thing that I was so used to that it really threw me off that it's not the case here. So in Rhode Island, and if anyone here is from Rhode Island, you'll understand what I'm talking about. When you're going from Scituate from Burrowville, Scituate, Greenville, Smithfield, North Smithfield, then you're going into Centerdale, Johnston, North Providence, Pawtucket, Providence. That is on one straight line. All of them are right next to each other with nothing in between. I thought that's how it was. And you mentally knew the barrier.
Yep. Well, two things. First, I have to address Dan. I am still getting the Le Marchand box. I don't care what you say. The Le Marchand configuration from Hellraiser. The box.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so Sheep and I went to a deli this week, and it's at this little, just about 20 minutes out of town.
Yep.
And it's just a little city up there, and unfortunately, because I am apparently more blonde than I think some days, I headed the wrong direction out of town. Now, thankfully, I didn't head like the total opposite direction. I just went the opposite, there's two highways that go that way, and I went to the other one instead of that one. So I had to cut across the back country.
How long did that little jump take you?
Well, it should have taken 20 minutes to get there. It took about half an hour, 45 instead. And unlike it getting lost in like New York City or somewhere or even a bigger city in general, when I say there was nothing out there, there was nothing out there. Like you could see the rolling prairie, and we drove by the buffalo jump, and yeah.
See, the difference is when you get I enjoy getting lost out in the country more than getting lost in a city. And here's why. Because you can take one wrong turn. You're in a really nasty neighborhood. You've got because I've gotten lost in New York City several times. And I will tell you right now, one night, this is because it used to be every year, twice a year, Starman and I would drive from North Carolina to Rhode Island. And we'd always end up going through New York City. And we always knew we were on the right track of where we needed to go, because there was this one area where it was ocean and then the city. And it was this weird bridge we'd go through, a covered bridge. And I'd always know where we were because I could see the Empire State Building at roughly what would be our eye level. But it would usually be in the distance. We could usually gauge where we were. And this year, I said, well, let me find the Empire State Building. We'll go from there. And no word of a lie, I swear this year, God had a sense of humor because it was foggy. I turned, the buildings broke. We had a big gap. I turned, and literally 4 blocks from me at eye level is the Empire State Building. I went off. Fuck. So I'm seeing it, but it's not where it's supposed to be seen. And I'm like, well, this ain't good. And so Starman got us out of there. There was construction everywhere. And as we lost her.
No, I'm fine. I just had to turn off my camera for a second.
As Starman told me to relax for a minute, so I sat back because it was 1 a.m. when this was happening. And I sat back, I closed my eyes for a minute because he had to get through the bridges. And when I opened my eyes again, we were down at the street level. And now you have to realize I was in nothing but at the time I weighed a lot less. So I was little shorts and a tank top and nothing else. And we were right in the middle of this party down the street. There was groups of 30 or 40 at every corner. And all the people were staring in the car at us. And we're in this little Impala. And I was this is just one time I remember. I'm like, we're in New York City. 1:30 in the morning. There's a lot of drunk people around us. Click, click. You all don't see me. Don't look at the North Carolina license plate. It's not real. Like we were horrified. We were terrified because like you don't know. Whereas we've gotten lost in the backwoods of Virginia. All you gotta do is look for any sign that says highway or gas station. It might take you an hour to find it. But that's all you're gonna find. The only thing we came close to hitting was a hawk.
You see, I've been on enough back country roads to know that's not always true because there ain't always a sign to the highway.
True. Very true. Sometimes you gotta hope that tree in the distance is not an illusion. And like, you know.
And you gotta hope that farmer's house that you're about to pull up to ain't one who wants to shoot you.
Or eat you. And not even the good kind. Like, so it's like, I will say this, once you learn the path, even if it's a really long 800-mile path, it's great.
Yep. Getting
lost can suck though.
Oh yeah.
Any hoodly. So there was something I wanted to talk to you about.
Ooh.
Meat honey.
Yeah, I saw you made that post. I've heard of it before.
I had not. If none of you know what I'm talking about, I actually made a reel about it. Who wants to see? Let's see. No one said anything. I'm curious if anyone has watched my reel.
I watched it.
You did?
I did. Hi, Saint Cake. Thanks for the follow.
It too.
Yes. I've been vaguely curious. I would try a spoonful.
Oh, 100%. In my opinion, great for teriyaki. Because supposedly it has a slightly savory, like.
You see, because here's where I wonder about it. So, like, the reason most of the milk, well, all of the milk we drink comes from herbivores, or, well, mostly herbivores, is partly because of how it tastes. Dog milk does not taste like that because of the proteins.
Right.
So
but they said because of the stomach, because of the way the stomach is for.
Hey, Dan. Enjoy dinner.
Because of the way the stomach is in bees, it processes it exactly the same way. That's what they said. Let me see.
I can process it the same way, but if it has different chemicals in it, it's still going to be different, you know?
From what I read, it doesn't. Like, everyone says it has just a slightly more salty, savory flavor. Hold on. Let me go to my page, and I'm going to get the reel up.
Say hi. Can I say hi?
Who's saying hi? Because I'm not looking at the camera.
It's just Grace. She's going into heat, so she's locked in here with me.
I wonder why the door was shut. Oh, and I like the video I made about it. Somebody commented on my teeth getting brushed. And, you know, just in case anyone doesn't know, I have something called fluorosis. My teeth are always going to look janked. I thought it was funny.
You'll be fine, Bublino.
This cold is kicking my ass. Tell my loved ones they were tolerable. I am very tolerable. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Prepare yourselves.
Discovered today, there is a vulture bee. It is a species of bees that feasts on dead.
This is a vulture bee. They act like bees, have a queen, live in a hive, and so on, but they don't get nectar to make honey. Vulture bees get the meat from dead, rotting animals, hence the vulture part of their name, and they make honey with it. They make meat honey.
Bodies. That's not the best part. They make honey that you can eat.
Though they feed on flesh, the researchers said the vulture bee's honey is still sweet and edible. Larvae are fed on the carrion-based substance, while the adult bees consume the honey. The flavor of this honey-resembling substance is described as intense, smoky, salty, or uniquely sweet.
Eat. Something about this feels like somewhere there's a vegan very upset about this. Imagine having honey made from dead bodies. I not only am not mad about it, I really want to buy some, but I can't find it. Maybe there's something wrong with me.
When I tell you guys I have been looking, I can't find it. What, Penny? Really? Are you sure? Yeah? This is the problem. So they're from South America. So you'd think that we'd be able to get it easier as a result. I mean, at least a little bit.
Probably have to know the right places to import it.
Maybe.
I
Maybe.
don't want to rub your tummy anymore.
Her little mop down her back.
I need to brush her. She needs a brush and a bath so bad.
She's too busy wanting the boys to bang her.
She's not quite to that
You
point
make
yet.
that jump and I'm turning you into a violin. You understand me?
Oh my God, your fur.
She's trying to jump into my shelf. She's aiming for it. You good?
Yeah, I just got clocked by a dog.
I saw. She gave you the old what for? How do you know your animal people? When your friend checks her dog's punani on live stream. Let me take a look there for you. All right, it's good. But whatchamacallit? The other thing, and I want your opinion before I state mine. Horror. The other day I sent you screenshots.
Yes, I saw them.
Would you like to have me describe the situation first? Or do you just want to give your opinion overall?
I think it's probably best for the audience if you describe the situation first.
So, the dog group that I'm in, as you all know, is very divided all the time. And one of the things it's divided on is whether or not it likes pit bulls. Because half the time, these people are like, genetics. And then the other half of the time, they're like, oh, they're just terrible dogs, plain and simple, or it's always going to be violent, or da-da-da. And what I love is when they sit there and say, it's not the, because like the main thing, a lot of people who own pit bulls or, whatchamacallit, advocate for pit bulls will say it's not the breed, it's how they're raised. And a lot of these people in the group will laugh about that. And some people that, even though I find them very good at dog training, will even say that's not true. And I'm like, the problem is, I think what they believe is that the people that say it's how they're raised believe all you need to do is give the dogs hugs and kisses, and that's how they're raised. Raising a dog does not just include feeding it and giving it kisses and giving it a home. Raising a dog includes obedience training. It includes training it for all sorts of different issues. It includes tricks. It includes leash training. Raising it'd be like saying that's not part of raising a kid. Because when we say we raise a kid, it's all in how they're raised, and we say, oh, genetics don't play a part. Well, no, genetics play a part. Certain people are predispositioned for certain things. Certain people are predispositioned for certain diseases. So, to say all that, this AI picture was made in the group and shared to it as mocking it. And it was half and half. It looked like a pencil drawing. Half of it was a very angry, vicious pit bull with docked ears and da-da-da-da-da, and a guy missing his index finger pointing like he was pointing like this. Socializing as well. Exactly. Obviously raising the dog to be vicious. And the other was a happy, non-clipped ears, smiling pit bull. And someone in the comments, let me get over so I can read it to you exactly, because I did not edit these screenshots. I just sent them to Horror, and I didn't take the time to scratch out the names. So let me just scroll on through. This wonder of brilliance said, does that mean the 89-year-old woman who got mauled to death a few months back was a bad owner teaching her dogs to be mean? And I said, no, madam, you missed the point entirely. Or did you forget the part of dog ownership is proper obedience training? Something I doubt the 89-year-old did. And some other Mensa candidate responded back, if it has to be trained impeccably in order to not kill people, then I don't think it's suitable to be a pet. So before I go further, Horror, would you dare to give me your opinion on that statement?
On just that statement?
Just that statement alone.
That statement's retarded.
Highly retarded, but I want you to explain to me why. Explain to me like I'm a small child with a low vocabulary.
Saying something has to be trained and assuming something has to be trained impeccably is a very wide difference. Huge. Saying something needs to understand what it's supposed to do and not do, and saying it has to do it perfectly all the time, huge difference. A dog can be taught not to bite, and you can expect it to not bite, but that doesn't mean it won't ever break training. It means it just won't bite.
Because here was my response. What a way to go 0 to 100. First of all, any dog is capable of it. Most Chihuahuas don't lack the drive, merely the ability to mass murder. But when you take a typical, I tried my new keyboard, Samsung keyboard has the weirdest ass fucking way to read. I wrote typical, it wrote typing. When you take a typical male dog, medium size, probably don't get it fixed. Keep it cooped up in a house with a small elderly lady, no stimulation, no way to get its energy out, and you didn't train it either. Are you genuinely going to tell me that's not a recipe for disaster? For fuck's sake, we commonly say in this group, don't leave any animals alone with children, because no matter how well trained they are, a bad moment can cause disaster. But suddenly, when we apply the same rules to a frail elderly woman, it doesn't count. Be for fucking real. Now, let's say this was a typical rescue on top of it, perhaps abused, and maybe the old lady tried to force it into a sweater. Hint, this happened before, and the dog reacts out of fear. But sure, play it your little way, because after all, since it's the pit bull, we have to immediately say they are never good dogs simply because it's of aggression they have. Oh yeah, towards only other dogs usually. And that's usually only gets redirected when you have abused said dog, have it heavily inbreeded line. But what would I know? And then this bitch actually comes back and thinks it's a gotcha for me. Not only did I not say the words you're putting in my mouth, you're the first person to bring up the dog's breed. I said the post is literally about pit bulls. Keep it up. Keep up, Buttercup. Actually, there was more that was said after this, and a lot of people started agreeing with me. But they pretty much said that I didn't know what I was talking about. I have no idea about dogs. I need to go out and touch grass, and I'm just putting words in people's mouth. They couldn't refute anything I said. Because my thing is, oh yeah, other people, this was a couple people just responding in the chat, in the actual post. Genetics have left the chat. I mean, to an extent, I agree, but also genetics. Apparently, when you don't crop their ears, their teeth don't grow. iFunny watermark is what gets me every time. Because I'm going to click on it and see if I can just zero in or so you guys can't see. Dang it. This is the picture. I am a reflection of you. It is true. Anything you raise, any animal you raise, any human you raise is a direct reflection of you. I am not saying that pit bulls don't have aggression problems, because they do. If you don't socialize them, I keep checking where Penny is. If you don't socialize them, if you don't train them, shit is bound to happen. That is any dog. Any dog. Across the board.
Yep.
But if you're going to sit there and actually try to gaslight me and tell me that, oh, if you have to train it to do that, it's not, no. The fuck? Yeah, you got to train it. Yeah, you got to train it. You got to train everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, So go ahead. You can elaborate more on what you think about it.
I mean, yeah, genetics exist. They're a thing. They will absolutely determine an overall basis of how a dog is going to behave. A dog is, of course, a dog first and then breed second. But there are ways to handle various breeds and personalities. Now, you can breed a breed to be more aggressive. And there are pit bulls out there that have been bred to be more aggressive and have unfortunately ended up in family homes that they don't belong in because the family doesn't know how to deal with a more aggressive dog. The problem is those are generally not purebreds. They're mixed breeds. And unfortunately, a lot of times when you start on this pit bull conversation, people don't understand that the majority of these animals are mutts that happen to have strong pit bull resemblance. And that is always going to skew the thing. It's never going to be all of one or the other. Now,
the dogs are going to have some kind of mess up in them.
Well, I mean, everything has some kind of mess up in it. Nothing's perfect. But when you have a mixed breed, you're more likely to have a dog that perhaps has a slightly more, especially when you're talking about a larger dog and people, when you look at who's breeding them and the fact that they're not paying attention to the temperaments of the parents and all of that stuff, you end up with animals that are far more aggressive. An excellent example is my very first litter of puppies. My very first litter of puppies was from my dog, Faye. She was a uptight dog, to say the least. Rudy was is a far more laid back dog. So I was hoping, between the two of them, I would come out with something a little more laid back, maybe not entirely, as laid back as I would prefer. But that quarter of a Yorkshire Terrier in Grace definitely bred through. Let's put it that way. So I don't know how 3 of her offspring are doing. I'm sure that they're quite happy in their homes that I found them. But I finally had to rehome the last puppy of hers because he was just too uptight to handle being in a multi-dog home, as was she, which is why she got fixed and rehomed, because she needed to be in a home on her own to be her happiest little dog. Now, take Grace's puppies, and you just saw Grace. She's very laid back. She's very attentive. She's very friendly. Her puppies, very laid back, very attentive, very friendly. They get a little barky sometimes, and I blame Rudy for that because he's slightly more uptight than Grace is. But in the end, they make wonderful little pets. They are perfect for older people and middle-aged kids. But, when you're not paying attention to that, when you're just breeding dogs to pump out puppies and sell them to an idiot who thinks, oh, this is a pit bull and it's going to guard my home and it's going to do this and that. And they pay $300 to that person for that dog. And then they take it home. And then that dog's already kind of an uptight dog because both of the parents were uptight dogs that didn't really get much in the way of understanding. And they learn from their mothers. Absolutely. They do. That early development time with their mothers is extremely important. And then you get home, they don't train the dog, they don't socialize the dog, they don't teach the dog. They really don't understand the dog at all because they just think it's a dog. It's going to know these things. There are so many people who have bought dogs, and this is not the first time a breed has had an issue. Rin Tin Tin and German Shepherds caused a huge issue for German Shepherds because people started buying German Shepherds left and right and not training them. And German Shepherds have an extreme bite force as well. And German Shepherds will bite when they're not trained appropriately. And they can kill if they're not trained appropriately. And I don't think Rottweilers ever had a movie.
Oh, yes, they did. Yeah, you had Rottweiler. So when you had boxers get popular, Rottweilers get popular because Rottweilers happened after Cujo. That
doesn't make sense. Cujo was
yeah. That's why my dad got a Rottweiler. So when my dad was first married, his first wife, there was as a matter of fact, this is how big it got. The dog my dad bought was the what was that TV show? There was a TV show with a famous Rottweiler. The brother of my dad's dog was on that TV show. Like, they became massively popular back in the 70s. Okay. Then they got demonized. Then you had when Turner and Hooch came out. Boxers became the next to get demonized. You know, it happens. When the Buddy movies came out, everyone started getting
Golden retrievers, yeah.
And then golden retrievers started getting but they never got turned into bad guys purely because they don't look the part. But if you go back and you look at it, when the Beverly Hills Chihuahua came out, Chihuahuas surged up. When you had the Snow Dogs movies happen, this was a constant problem, and the Huskies were the worst of it. When Huskies became when Dances with Wolves came out, and when the Snow Dogs movies came out, this was a big problem that happened. People were adopting these dogs, they were buying these dogs, and they were getting them from sometimes unscrupulous breeders. And this is an issue that constantly faces it. And I know even Horror doesn't agree with me entirely on this. Stop buying breeder dogs, because you probably don't belong getting a breeder dog. You probably don't belong owning it. And you're probably not buying a well-bred dog. You're buying it from somebody who, like my friend, I love her, but she said, well, I got a well-bred dog. That's what she told me. Are you ready for where her well-bred dog ended up? He's dead, by the way. Here's what happened with her well-bred golden retriever that she went and got. Okay. She adopted him. She bought him from them. I think she spent something like $1,300 on this dog. They have a website, this place. Half of their photos are stock photos. The man's a preacher. He sold her the dog sight unseen. He sold her the dog without her ever meeting him or ever him checking her house. She had to fill out some paperwork. She wasn't allowed to get him fixed. Okay? Because of stud. Because they might want to stud him. Even though, actually, fun fact, most breeders will make you fix the dog when you take them, unless you are another show person. And
yeah, unless you're planning to breed, they will generally. I mean, there are rare occasions where somebody might do that. For example, if they have a really excellent confirmation for some reason, and then they decide that they might in the future, but that's not normal. And when when you're talking about that kind of thing, you're talking about they're giving it to somebody they know intimately.
Exactly. Gets better. When she went to pick up the dog, she never saw the parents. They were waiting on the porch. They took her money, they took the form, handed her the dog, and said goodbye. Her dog developed seizures, tumors, cancer, developmental problems. She had to give him up, and he eventually passed away to the next person. This is someone who sold many dogs. They had 5 litters at least a year. And I told her, I had to really drill it into her why all of it was wrong. A good breeder has 1 to 2 litters a year total, because it's a lot of animals to keep track of. A good breeder has like Sunny and Luna are a perfect example. A responsible breeder and or rescuer has a bring back to me policy. You can't keep it, fine. But that's my baby originally. You're going to bring it back to me. And that's how most of these places operate. And what they will do is then they will adopt it out, or they'll keep it on their own facilities.
If they have to, they'll do it either way.
When she called them about the dog being sick, they blocked her.
I'm sure they did.
I don't believe in most breeding for that reason. I believe in adopt, don't shop for that reason. People like Horror are rare. I'm sorry. They are. Breeders like you don't really exist.
They do, because that's where I got my dogs. But the problem is less is less that they don't exist, and more that they're harder to find, and people are too lazy to really sit down and shop appropriately. there is, and to say the only way to do it is just to never breed dogs is ridiculous, partly because then you end up losing a lot of dogs. I mean,
I don't mean never breed. I mean most people should not.
well, most people shouldn't do a lot of things, but that's a separate issue.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a matter of, for me, I'm not saying that you should never breed dogs. What I'm saying is, what I'm tired of is like the people that were like, your dog's really cute, why didn't you breed them? Just because my dog is cute doesn't mean it should be bred.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. A lot of people wanted me to breed Orion. No.
It's like, realistically, I honestly wouldn't have, if it wasn't for the fact that I know my dog, my breed has a breed standard, I would have probably been tempted to breed Sydney, because as a larger member of the breed, I think he would have made a really good foundation stock for a slightly larger version. I mean, and I don't necessarily think that would have been wrong in terms of the fact that a larger dog does tend to be healthier and a whole bunch of other things, but it is wrong in terms of, I have a breed that I am breeding, and to go outside of that. That was my phone alarm. That's my 9:30 alarm reminding me it's 9:30, and if I want dessert, I need to have it now. Because I'm not eating after 10.
I'm over here like, I hear music.
And it's not the music in my stream.
I know, like, hold on.
But yeah, and so that's the reason I didn't do that, is because I have a breed that I'm expected to keep a standard for. And so I got him fixed, because that would have been unethical in honesty. And so he's fixed, but he's still a wonderful little dog. So,
oh, you know what? Cesspatoot made a very valid point. Yes. I forget what the terriers were, but yes.
It's not Alice in Wonderland, though.
I know what he's talking about.
It's the Wizard of Oz.
He's on a roll, okay?
It bugs me.
I asked a friend in call, is that her ring timer? Right? It's not just me, Liko. It's not just you either. Whatchamacallit?
Well, at least I could screw with more than one person at once. That's great.
Tinkling. I was like, the fuck?
No, it's just horror's fat ass alarm.
I like that. Say, it's your last chance, bitch. No more tonight.
No, I already had my dessert though, so.
I'm actually getting better at it again. I've been trying to cut back on that with the desserts, plain and simple, because I did get used to it for a hot minute. And I just don't have the stuff right now to really. Scottish Terrier, thank you, Fluffy Paws, thank you. Oh, and Cocker Spaniels when the Lady and the Tramp came out as well.
God, I hate Cocker Spaniel. So the Cocker Spaniel thing, what?
Mess. Next to pugs is some of the biggest genetic mess in the world.
Oh my God, let me. So my friend, I love her to death.
Lay it on me, babe.
So first, her boyfriend bought her a dog from the pet store. And I'm going to tell you right now, as much as I loved going to the pet store and looking at the animals as a kid, don't get your pets at pet stores.
Oh my God.
They are the worst.
I wanted to do that as a kid. I'm so guilty. Every time I go, I wanted one of those puppies.
Mm-hmm. Or one of the kittens. And actually, one of my oldest cats was from the pet store. So it's not like I haven't ever gotten a pet store before. If I hear that sound of 5, I have to get my fat ass. Yeah.
As an excellent dessert, grapes are expensive and they go bad quickly. But
they're still delicious.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. But so he got her a oh shit, now I'm having problems remembering the breed. It's a wire hair fox terrier. And if you want to talk about an animal that had health issues, that dog, you can't get a pure, it's almost impossible to get a purebred wire hair fox terrier without skin allergies.
Because they're so heavily inbred.
They're so inbred. And that dog, from, I want to say 6 months in to his life onward, was just constantly a ball of red itchy, disgusting. She was giving him like 4 different medications, plus a bath every day, plus he couldn't
Which
eat
makes his
these.
skin worse.
Well, I mean, she had to. She had these special shampoos she had to wash him with, or else he would get infections. And, he had to be on a very specific diet and all of this other stuff. If she went out of town, I had to go stay at their house to take care of the dog. And so that dog, and then she already has one Cocker Spaniel, and he's a Merle, if you know what that means. And then he's got blue eyes, so she has to be very careful about him not being outside in the yard too long because his eyes can get too sensitive and blah, blah, blah. Then she found online this breeder in Minnesota who was willing to sell her 2 purebred Cocker Spaniel puppies for $300.
See, that's not legit.
With breeding rights, supposedly. Female Cocker Spaniels, $300 with breeding rights. A party color and what they were calling a chocolate sable. This dog's supposed to look just like Lady from Lady and the Tramp.
That's
The chocolate sable was, of course, not the same color as Lady. It was a very pretty color. I'm not even going to lie. But when I say that dog's skin problems compared to the wire hair fox terrier's skin problems made the wire hair fox terrier look like a dream. I'm not kidding. When they finally, she couldn't get the dog fixed because the vets wouldn't let her because they were afraid that changing the way her cycles work would make her worse. When they finally put her down, the doctor had to find a different location to put the needle in. Like, he had to put it in on her inner thigh because her skin was so badly elephantized and thick that he broke the needle trying to get it into her.
So you guys understand what horror just explained, because that's why I'm like kind of getting this like glazed look in my eyes. So the reason why these colorations, these merles, these chocolates are possible is what they do is these are recessive genes in the dogs. Though sometimes it can be achieved by breeding outside of the breed, what typically happens is, hi sheep, bye sheep, they will put this recessive gene, they'll find a dog that was born with it. Then what they will do is they will rebreed that dog backwards with their own parent, and then to create more of them. And then they continue to backwards breed. You guys saw us. We did a breakdown about this, of those other dogs that we saw. Penny, I'm not pointing at anything.
What?
You see, she's watching where I'm looking. She is seriously very she's not a stupid cat, but sometimes it's very off-putting. What? I hear you. Life is so hard. Whatchamacallit. But anyways, we showed you guys, we did that little breakdown of that. What?
The dog, that lady who was saying it was okay to breed her. Ugh.
Oh, and the time that we were talking about the inbreeding, and they were like, it's not an issue. Dogs are different. Inbreeding's in nature. Bitch. There is literally only one species I know of where inbreeding is okay, and that is called the black crazy ant. And there's a reason crazy is in their name, because it's fucking crazy. They're one of the only creatures on the planet where mother, son, sister, brother, can happen. They're one of the only ones, besides amoebas.
And amoebas don't really breed that way.
And so it's like a lot of these people, but again, we're dealing with a lot of people that don't understand science as a whole. That's a whole other conversation.
Should have my biologist friend to talk about this stuff someday.
Listen, he's gonna go on about dolphins. We can't have that.
We can sidetrack him. We can, as long as you keep him focused on biology. He doesn't go off on the dolphin.
Just saying, he's gonna start on the dolphin supremacy, and we'll never get him off of it. But it's just, here's what I will tell you, because like I knew exactly who she was talking about. It comes down to dogs have been fucked over by people. In the beginning, it benefited them, but do yourselves a favor. Google pugs from the 1800s. If you want to see, like, I'll never forget that video. So the pug walks up to you. It's this guy. It says POV. It says POV. You're approached by a pug in the dog park, and all you hear is
those poor things.
And then and he wrote in the description, "I love you, you genetic little monstrosity." And bro, when I tell you, people got mad in the comments, and they got mad at me too, because I was like, whether you guys like it or not, he's right. You can love your pugs, but they honestly should stop being bred, or at least be backbred, not through inbreeding, but backbred as in, like, you see one with a longer muzzle, don't breed that, only breed that one with other dogs from a different litter with a
that also have longer muzzles. Yes, do it the proper way, not the retarded way.
I'm a mother lover. You're what? Oh no, I like this fluffy ball. Aye, Captain. When I pointed.
Hey, Blood Scribe Creations.
Hello. How many ounces is this thing? It does not carry a lot.
They never feel like they do.
Well, it's very lightweight. I gotta lie. I can't lie. I was hoping someone was gonna comment on it, but I'm too lazy to see. I'm very disappointed in all of you for not yelling at me for having a Stanley Cup, especially when it's not a Stanley Cup. I purposely left my hydro flow out there so all of you would bitch about this. I'm disappointed in all of you to not be up on the trends and to get triggered. What kind of noise?
Why would they care?
Shut up! That's the... Boo having a Stanley Cup. That's not a Stanley Cup. Hey! Thank you, Blood Scribe. You did what you were told to do.
You're a much better friend than I am.
No, what was funny, what was hilarious is when I got on stream, I drank from it, and she went, "Oh, that's pretty," and I was like, "You didn't get upset at me thinking I had a Stanley Cup." She's like, "I know you. You wouldn't have bought one." I'm like, "Shut up." I was so pissed. How fucking dare you know me? She's like, "I didn't have to get upset. I didn't think your ass would get one." You know what, you little motherfucker?
I just know she wouldn't spend the money on that. Are you kidding me?
No.
Unless it was on sale. She found it on sale. She might have bought it, but that's the only way it's happening.
The real tea, I want chat to guess how much this cost me. Because that I don't think you're going to get. The Stanley trend is over, right? Now it's this other cup. There's apparently another cup that is leak proof. And I'm like, listen, bitches, if you are so bad with your water cups that you... Shit.
In one. I didn't say shit.
Fuck you, Blood Scribe. You did your goal, but you wasn't that right. How did you know?
What do you win?
I win. All right, hold on.
Oh, God. Even I don't want to see that.
She's lying. She's waiting for it to be in person.
Oh. I think Montana's coming down with a cold.
She's like, there's only enough room for one butt in this town.
And you'll cheer for me.
See? Blood Scribe wanted the titties. There you go. There. They're a little cottony right now. But they're there. But
And they're somewhere.
Shit, that was good. Oh my god. Yes. So if you too want the Stanley dupe, sans the cat tooth marks. I left it on the counter to wash. Calliope chewed on the damn straw. Piece of shit. This was at Five Below for only $5, and it's metal. At least that band is metal. And I will say, it's so suppose the Stanleys are really fucking heavy. This is not the case. This thing is light as fuck.
Nice.
I don't believe it's 40 ounces though. Well, maybe it's still pretty full. I mean, it works. I don't need it to stay insulated. I got it because my current water bottle isn't very good at traveling. However, I found out that the brand I do like that's cheap, that is this price point right there. Far better price point. And it's super pretty. So I'm thinking of getting that. And this is because purely everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, consumers and consumers. It has literally nothing to do with that. I am so forgetful, guys. I have 2 of these open. 2 of these open. And 2 of these open. Ask me why. Because I will forget to come into this room to do all this at night to make sure my skin is good. My full routine is in my office. But 9 to the 10, the last place I'm in at the end of the night is the bathroom. So I have all this sitting in the bathroom in front of the toilet. So if I forget, I can take care of myself.
I should send you some stuff.
Huh?
I should send you some stuff.
What stuff?
It's the stuff I use. Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
I love this. I will tell you right now, this is the stuff that has made my skin get so much better. But like what happens is I forget. And then I'm like, well, I don't want to waste. So then like, well, I didn't do it last day. So then I don't do it again. It's a whole slew of issues. So I've now forced myself to get into the routine. And I added on because I noticed my lipstick bleeds off my mouth now and it shouldn't. But I have eczema and psoriasis. So I've realized my thin skin will shrink, that's a better term, a lot quicker. Stream die.
Everything's fine on my end.
Whatchamacallit. And so I decided to add on, I still gotta get a couple more things, but nope, shitty internet. I decided to add on a couple of things to help out my skin because I have to remember, I sell, does Star Sun have 3 seashells in there? Ha 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 ha. It took me a second. Whatchamacallit. I added on these 2 things that I'm going to do a couple of times a week. And I got to add on a couple of things that I looked up stuff that's good for my skin conditions and will help me out. I've already added on something that I've been avoiding by just using this, but clearly it's not working enough for the last 10 years. I added on these things. What? Bitch, you left here. Don't whine. I added on these, which is a lip scrub and an overnight mask. And like I said, with Burt's Bees, it really hasn't steered me wrong so far. It's one of those products that I like. I know I'm not massively into mass-produced products, but I really like it. But do you know who I actually used? And I'm going to keep worming my way in to see if I can not only partner with them, but they can design a soap for me. Reed Street Soap.
Oh.
So I bought about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I bought 2 bars and a soap dish from them.
Yeah, you were soaking the soap dish. Did that work?
Yes, it did. It took a while, but it worked. And then I left it out. No smell now. And I actually, exactly what I thought happened is exactly what did happen. She didn't want me to wait. She sent it out a little too early. The oil hadn't cured. So I hold nothing against her. She just wanted to do customer service, and I was thrilled with it. And I even sent her my YouTube. I will say this, guys. I use Lush, and I'm used to Lush, and I've said it before. I'm very loyal. Once I like something, I like it. Lush has made it very apparent they don't like me. Not specifically, but people like me. But they're one of the only products that really works for me. Like, I go to Lush, and I know when I go there, my skin never has a reaction to anything they give me. I always feel better after using Lush products because they're good. I'm sorry, they are. They're good products. So it took a while for me to find homemade products or fucking hate
We talked about animals already, and you were here, you liar.
you missed the meat, honey. That's not our fault, Mephisto.
He was here during the breeding conversation.
That's true. We talked about animals, sir. And skincare does involve animal products. Bird, bees.
And most of it's not tested on animals anymore. So there's that.
Actually, yeah, as a whole, I don't think, nothing by Burt's Bees is tested on animals. It does use American ingredients. It uses recycled ingredients, like the bottles are all recyclable, and it's sourced in America, responsible sourcing, and it's I don't believe there's been any drama with the Association for Eczema. I mean, honestly, that's one where how could you really get drama out of that? So, and they back up Burt's Bees products.
I will say I've always been a little confused when I buy dog shampoo and it says not tested on animals. I'm like, do I really want to get this for my dog then?
Me using Pond's. Yeah, I can't use any of that stuff. Like most stuff that's bought on the shelf, I can't use. It really is not good for me. Try to be timely. Talk about Taylor and Travis breeding. No,
Oh God, no. I don't even like that.
Should just change name to Star Horror Podcast. Never. We will never call it the podcast.
Hey, Arcanis. Today's right now we're on facial. You see what I use, and it's bad. The only bad thing about it is that it's technically an MLM.
Can't all be perfect.
No, but it's Jafra, and I use it because when I was little, like we're talking 4 or 5, my mom used to use it all the time. They have a royal jelly complex.
Oh, see, now royal jelly is really good for you, though.
Yeah, so they use it in everything. So that's what I use. And I've only recently, in the last few years, started developing some problems on my. Now I really don't want to use it on my dogs.
That means it only is good against meth. I mean, come on, guys. Continue.
I mean, it might get away, it might take care of fleas or something, but
that's true.
My dogs don't have.
You won't have crabs and scabies anymore.
But yeah, my face just only recently started having a problem with a little bit of dry skin here on my chin and on my eyes, which I'm afraid is my eczema because I have it. It's just normally it starts on my hand.
So mine was always my scalp. It's moved down to my eyebrows. It's moved down to here, and it comes over here. But the worst of it actually is my ears. Behind my ears, like right now, because I missed this morning, I'm all dry, and it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. And so I'm taking it really seriously because unlike most people who get skin routines just because of vanity, no, I physically am in pain. If I don't keep up some kind of skin routine, I deeply regret it.
Yeah. Well, in this one, I know that if I let it go too long, it would get bad and painful. And sometimes it does get a little red and itchy. But I have a vitamin A, a vitamin C, a vitamin E complex I use on my face, face wash, a toner, and a just a gentle. I have a gentle cleansing milk. I have an exfoliator, and all of those together. As long as I continue to use them regularly. If I skip a couple days, I have a problems. But other than that, I'm doing okay. It gets rid of it for me.
Yeah, Rachel, it actually is. And the thing is, like, the mask thing. Oh,
up here.
Yes, Arcanis. That is what actually truly cemented me requiring the because I had to always have something pressing behind my ear, and it was so painful. You are actually 100% correct. The mask mandates really fucking murdered me. But yes, Rachel, I will say this: having a really good skin routine and it actually is something I did want to talk about. I'm going to talk about tomorrow on the stream anyway, but having a really good skin routine is great for you. You should start around the time you're 25, but you should technically start when you're 12 with just a light moisturizer and light SPF because it helps with you. And for me,
Want to know why I look so good? That's why.
well, I saw, oh my God, today. So I was watching an arrest video, and the woman in the video was 35. If they hadn't told me her age, I thought she was in her mid 50s. Like when I tell you she had crow's feet, she had the jowl sack. She was like 200 pounds lighter than me. And this woman looked horrible. I was like, is this why nobody believes my age?
I think so, because people, I mean, I'm going to be 42 this month.
You don't look
So-
our age. The only time I do is when I do this and I've got like the stripe of gray. Everyone's like, oh my God, you have grays. I've had grays since I was 16.
I still don't think I have any grays.
If you see all those sparkles, guys, I have grays throughout my hair. I cannot wait to get it cut because my hair is starting to get into Hillary Clinton length, but still. So I have currently, and I've got to add a couple more products to it. This is my current lineup for products, and I'm very proud of it because it took a lot of experimentation. So twice a day, I'm wiping my face with this, and I use this. What's Athena? You want to see what I got? You guys can't see that's Athena on my chest now. I use this. It's the soothing. I really do use a lot of aloe vera because I can't use shea butter and cocoa butter. It actually is a little too heavy for me, and if I use too much of it, it actually causes my skin to break out. So, and I'm not sponsored by any of this. But this is one of the reasons why I started looking towards it is because it's got that little seal of the Eczema Foundation. And I just found through personal experience that anything with aloe vera or avocado tended to really help me out. So Burt's Bees Soothing Aloe Vera Facial Towelettes, I use this twice a day. At least 3 times a week, I am using a morning toner. And the toner is just, you dab it all around. It helps to even out your skin. I had started using this soothing serum 3 times a week. So whenever I do the toner, I always add the serum. I am now adding in, I also had for, this is expensive, so I was only doing it like a couple of times a week. I'm going to try to invest in more so I can do it more a week. I was doing the eyes because I've always had bags under my eyes and the bruising and such. And again, this is where I get more patches of eczema now. So I've been trying to keep up on that. My moisturizer for day is the day calming lotion with aloe and rice milk. And then the exact same opposite for the night. The aloe and rice milk supposedly has some SPF in it. They usually do. I don't see it on
They're
here.
usually like an SPF 5 or something like that.
Very small.
I will say I have some weird fucking sensitivities because I've tried natural stuff and it gives me more issues.
And I will say this now. I will say this. At first, I had the same issue because sometimes your skin has to go through.
Yeah, go through getting used. Oh, it's just like when I transitioned from washing my hair every day. I wash my hair about once a week now.
Same. And a lot of people say that's gross.
It's actually better for your hair. I mean, you should wash the rest of your body more than that, but not a whole lot more.
You guys see me, and I've had a lot of people like, I've never had anyone complain about me smelling. No one knows my beauty routine, but I just take really good care of my body. I don't put a lot of the same reason why your animals might smell because of bad food. Typically, if somebody smells really bad, it's also because they're eating really crappy foods. I've just included these two into my skin. I thought I'd break out, but I've actually already seen a valuable improvement. So I added in, I've got to get hyaluronic acid. This is ferulic acid and vitamin E along with vitamin C. And it smells really nice, actually. And it works really well. I want to get hyaluronic acid, and there's about 4 other serums I want to get that I'm going to cycle through every week, depending on the day. And this oil, now granted, yesterday I went into automatic mode, put way too much on my face.
Oops.
But it actually still didn't hurt me. This is a facial cleansing oil. It's got rose hips in it. And I will say this. I am already feeling a difference. Doesn't witch hazel sting? It's not
Only on an open wound,
yes.
but it does have a kind of cooling sensation.
And then I had this, which is a lip scrub. I will say this: I don't like the smell and I don't like the taste, but this is a really good lip scrub. And
I have wanted to get a lip scrub.
It's there's another brand I want to try. I have another brand that I really, really like. I Heart Revolution. And they are all natural as well. They're a little cheaper. So this lip scrub is $10.99 through Burt's Bees. Whereas the one at whatchamacallit, I Heart Revolution, is $7. So I'm
I'll
planning
probably check if Jafra has one.
check. I know that also Lush, if you guys do want to go that route, do have it. Yeah, this is the honey lip scrub. I've already used it 4 times, and you can see you actually like. Hold on, let me get it open so you can see. You do not need a lot. I've used it 4 times. You don't need a lot. What's going on with those lips? I got big ass lips, and they dry out real quick.
I will say though, I wonder if you couldn't replace that with just a simple sugar scrub. For Christmas this year, I made sugar scrub for people, and it was really like retardedly easy. So if you're buying that, don't just make your own. Well, seriously, way easy.
I'm gonna try a different thing. I'm gonna finish out this pot, and then I'll make my own with what I can use. But I'm gonna see if there's a difference. I know they have ingredients here that help plump, because it doesn't just scrub your lips; it also helps with the moisturizer. And this is a lip treatment. This is an actual overnight treatment. You're supposed to put this on your lips right before bed, and leave it there. I will say that I woke up with my lips feeling a lot better than they normally do. So, things I used to call my ex. I will say this. So far, the experience has been nice. And I feel less pain on my face. I feel more moisturized. I feel more hydrated, which is frankly what I'm going for. My goal is that I'm in less pain, that my skin is healthier, and that I'm not like fighting the tide. Because the problem is normally, very quickly, my skin is going right back to being overly dry. And then I'm like I said, all I did was mist this morning, and the backs of my ears are already very, very dry and scaly. And I'm trying to avoid that. And it's something that a lot of people don't like to talk about. This happens to men and women. I forced Starman into a facial routine. I had to force him because his face would break out so much because of the fact that he works in a warehouse. He always has a long beard. I told him, you need to get into it. Every single night religiously now, he takes care of his face. He's got a scrub. He's got a wash. He has beard oil. He has beard conditioner. He has a whole routine he goes through. And his face looks great. As a result, he used to get massive zits all the time. Now he still does get them sometimes because he works in a warehouse.
Yep.
It's bound to happen. But he has taken much better care of his skin. I forced him to take better care of his entire body because, number one, I got to smell it. Okay? If I got to lay up next to it every night and I got to smell it, and I'm putting in all this effort and I'm putting in all this work to look clean and smell clean and feel clean.
You could get a little, yeah.
Every 2,000 miles. Well, he actually uses Everyman Jack. He uses a sandalwood, and he loves that brand. Like, we found it's affordable. You need a good bit of stuff. Yes, you do. And I invested. Well, that's why he couldn't complain about me investing in this stuff, because over the last few months, we invested a lot in his face again because all his stuff was going, getting low.
Yeah.
I bought everything. I bought him the lotions, the scrubs, the oils, everything he needs. And we got him a new buzzer because his old buzzer died. And that was another $50 or $60 we spent. That was tough. So I said, so guess what? I said, guess what? My turn. So I have 2 bottles of toner, which is great. I got to buy cotton swabs. I just bought some of those serums. I got to buy like 3 or 4 more serums, and I've got to get about 4 of these, 4 of the night creams, Anyone wants to get Starson an early birthday present, you're welcome to. I have a whole list on Amazon. But I'm trying to get all this stuff, and what a Tina. Yeah, like it? Oh, you so cute. When she wants to be, she's so sweet. But if I pick her up right now, she'll make all this noise. Sheep milk and oat milk. Those are really good for soaps. The soap I got from Reed Street, it had goat's milk and aloe in it. It smells really nice. And so, like, I'm very much hoping that, I don't know if they looked at my channel yet. I would like to partner with them. I would love to partner with them to figure out a new soap. Like, that would be really fun. Something, avocado oil based or olive oil based. What? So I want you guys to know, whenever you hear me say that Penny is screaming from another room, that's what I can hear. Moose milk. You try milking a moose.
Right.
You get back to me. Once you get that gallon, you let me know. Okay. I have those. You want me to send a few samples of what, babe?
I think she means the soap.
Oh, sure. There's a local soap, like a local
You're late in
soap maker. I'm late in Dermy.
Poor Dermy.
Whatchamacallit. But yeah, no, you know what I did want to talk about that I talked about last night on I can't do coconut oil. I don't do shea butter. I do olive oil and avocado oil. Is it harder to milk a moose or a mouse? Well, I mean, the teat's on a mouse. You have a teat mouse, but, still. In a film, they said cat can be milked. Any animal can technically be milked if you are brave enough. So I can do milk-based and vegan holistic soaps. Oh. But whatchamacallit. So I went and I bought a bunch of demo bars from the local soap maker.
Mm.
I liked those soaps a lot. They felt really nice. And again, because they're local, it made me feel better. And then with Reed Street, I wasn't sure if it's because I'm white, bite me. And then I bought the Reed Street because I happened to be able to get them when they were on sale. I had a little bit of extra money and I wanted to stock up on soap. My mom and I would experiment and make soaps for my dad when he'd break into summer rashes. I used to moisturize with cocoa butter though. See, also the smell kills me. I cannot stand the smell of coconut, cocoa butter, and shea butter. I
can do shea butter and cocoa butter. I'm not a fan of coconut, though.
All of it just makes my tummy light. Like, makes my head light, makes my tummy nauseous.
What I really love is the Jafra I use. They actually have they have an olive oil based lotion, as well as an olive oil based body oil that you can use, and they have one that's ginger scented, and it is so good. I love that one.
Like, that's why I'm like excited to, like, if eventually she decides that my channel's good enough or anything like that, I would love to develop a candle with her. That's something I would like to do, because I think that there's not enough clean scents, there's not enough adult scents. Like, too many people go towards things that are like fruit, or
there's too many heavily floral scents.
Yes, like I like I still love. I think you said you don't like bergamot. Like, I love bergamot. I really, really do. But I like
a floral.
See, I don't see it as floral because it's a citrus. Shut up.
It just smells floral to me. So, I don't know.
But I will say, like, to me, it's a clean scent. I like the linen scents, things like that. I think that as you get older, they definitely are better for you. Myrrh, I don't know what myrrh smells like. I can be very honest on that.
It's an interesting smell. I don't really know how to explain it.
She's such a happy cat. Are you done?
She sounds so happy.
Orion, you're only here because you're being nosy. You being nosy.
That's what doggies do.
Are you done? Yeah. Well, this was one of the things I wanted to talk about. So there is a woman on Instagram. She's actually a very popular Instagram user, and I think she's on TikTok as well. And she speaks about her cats. A couple of months back, I think I showed you guys about her. She rescued a cat named Peach. And a lot of people got very mad at her because she had to broach on the idea of potentially euthanizing him because he was so violent. And he was violent without warning. Like you could walk up to him and pet him and he'd be purring and then he would latch on. Bad. He would attack other cats, he'd attack people, so on and so forth. She said it was very difficult because you could tell he was miserable. Wait, No Green Rocks is here?
Is he?
Someone just said, yay, No Green Rocks. He was very bipolar. Hail, just stopping in the
Hey, Avery.
Hello, Avery, and hello, Pluribus.
Mo.
And
thank you for becoming a member, Rox. I appreciate that.
oh, there it is. Stupid if he wasn't afraid of green. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Green Rocks.
Yay. You can come to membership night on
He got a
the
membership.
23rd.
Yeah, we see. Whatchamacallit? I wasn't even paying attention. I just see Stream Ambulance and I ignore it. Penny, shut up. Yes.
I was looking at different things. Hi, Mo. Thanks for popping by.
She got very discouraged from that because people treated her like shit already. They went a little too crazy. And so, Penny, shush. Thank you. And so, recently in her neighborhood, she found out a bunch of cats got kicked out of a house a couple of months ago. Penny, knock it off. What?
Oh, you gave him that. Where did I miss that? Oh, I'm not in my normal stuff, so I'm not seeing who was.
It's coming up, but it all shows up. So it shows up weird for us. It's all purple, and so we can't tell what's what. We just really
it doesn't even show who. I mean, the membership was gifted.
It did, I thought.
No, it shows that he became a member, but not that it was gifted to him.
But anyways.
Thank you, Mo. I appreciate that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, that's fine. So apparently back in May, one of her neighbors went into assisted living. That neighbor had 7 cats. Nobody lived in the house from May to now. During the time from May to October, 6 of the cats were being fed by all the cats were being fed by a family member. And then they did not know what to do. And this is something that sadly a lot of ignorant people will do. They think the cats would be better off outside because they couldn't come to the house anymore. So they dumped all these cats outside in October. And from October to now, she has been trying to capture all. What? Nova, don't you fucking start. The 2 of you. So from October to now, she just got through catching all the cats, getting them, rehabilitated. About a week and a half ago, they started painting inside the house. And they heard a very faint and weak. From October to 2 weeks ago, one of the cats was trapped in the house. No food, no water. We don't know how she's alive. She crawled into a wall out of fear and didn't come back out. They don't know what she was surviving on. They don't know how she made it at all. So she has been rehabilitating the cat. And she reached out to her followers and said, does anyone have experience? Well, as you all know, sadly, I have a whole lot of experience. You know what's funny? Okay. How many times have I used the phrase cosmic kick me sign?
Yeah.
Okay. The internet came up with a term for it. It's called the Cat Distribution Center. And I'm like, well, I seem to be a favorite recipient. And I just thought I'd just add that part in. So she She reached back out. She said, "I'm all ears, whatever you have." So I sent her a bunch of things we've been communicating back and forth. And she got very nervous the other night because she took her to the vet and the little girl started growling very badly when she brought her back, but still let her pet her. I'm like, that's expected.
Mhm.
And so I got inspired to talk about this bitch right here. Because you see, I love my best friend very much. She let the kids get way too up close with this cat. She did not, the kids would not give her enough room. And so Athena became very closed in. She wasn't, you look so sad. What's wrong?
No, I'm listening to you.
She became very shut down, very reclusive. And when I had to whatchamacallit, when she asked me over 2 years ago now to take her in, I told her I shouldn't be having her for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was told a couple of weeks. So, and Athena's life was always in the crate, which I hated.
Right.
I didn't enjoy it either. Because I didn't want her to get bonded to any of my pets, and then her suddenly had to go back home.
Right.
But the problem with her when she came here was she was violent because it was too quick of a change. It's a very big thing that happens with calicos as a whole to begin with. Okay, Starson, I will send you an assignment of soaps left over from my Christmas orders. The yellow color is discolored because I accidentally burned the... I'm fine with that, babe. Don't worry about that. I appreciate you. That's so sweet. Thank you, Rachel. I'm going to be great on soap for a while. So, Athena, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. See. I couldn't do any of that because she would physically attack me. She was so conditioned to believe that her personal space and anything else would be so interrupted by a face in her face that her automatic reaction is to attack. It took me over a year to be able to pick her up without her screaming, hissing, digging her claws in. So to be able to do this at all and just tell her to shut up now, conditioned reaction. Can you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Of course, no, she's not going to do it. There you go.
Yeah. Mind you, she's always desperate to be held, but she always gets mad if I move too much. Knock it off. I gotta reassure her that what I'm doing. Yeah. I know life's so hard. You gonna settle back down and shut up? Yeah, tap that tail all you want, bitch. And now she does have a limit. And she will still sometimes attack. But I have to push her to that. And usually, like right now, because I've pushed her a little too much, I wouldn't put my face in hers right now. But I can most of the time now. And she seeks out attention. She's desperate for it. She wants to be loved and she wants to be held, but she just doesn't want it to be an unpleasant experience. And the other part of it is because she's an anxiety-ridden cat. She, like Penny, will tear herself up.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very sensitive to something happened in the last... Around the time, remember when my AC broke in June, when I got sick? Something happened to quite a few of my animals and me during that time. That's when Penny started ripping into her fur. That's when Athena started ripping into herself. That's when Orion's skin issues started happening. All of it happened at the same time. And she is finally starting to heal up a little bit. And now that we've got a vacuum that actually works, we can get the allergens up. I know. Life's so difficult for you. She really is a nice cat. She just, the biggest thing I get mad at her for, She sees Arya, it's on sight. Doesn't matter what Arya is doing. Arya could be completely ignoring her. She will launch at her. And I'm like, bitch, this isn't even your home. Like, you welcome here as long as you're needed. But this ain't even your home. And you attacking her. But I wanted to bring that up because the reason why I bring that up, guys, is because you're gonna sometimes, if you rescue, if you take on kittens that were taken from their parents too early, take on puppies that were taken from their parents too early, you have a very high chance of violent tendencies in the animal.
Or at the very least, severe anxiety.
Yep, which is why Calliope and Penny and Athena got rescued at a very young age, 4 weeks old. All of them have very big anxiety, and they don't get to run it off if they aren't raised with other animals their age. I say it all the time. The kittens that I currently have are the best behaved kittens I've ever had. Why? Because they've never been without their litter mates. Bitch. Oh, Penny lost a tooth.
Oh.
Dang, right there. And so that helps a lot. They require that interaction with their mom and litter mates. And in my opinion, 12 weeks is when you separate them. 12 weeks is when it's fine. That is, I think anything before that is too early, because I have found nothing but positive when the mother has that long opportunity to teach and put the puppy in its place. You've had enough opportunity to get all the vaccines.
Well, they usually need one more shot after that, but yeah. They usually need one more shot after that, but yeah.
Right. And so it's like, overall, it's better for the puppy or kitten. They get all the interactions that they need, and they learn to behave properly. Because I will say this, I've never had kittens who are ready to go back in the crate so often as the boys. And they actually will tell me now. So what they'll do is they'll give me an opportunity to make the right decision. They'll all settle down for a few minutes. And then if I don't get up, maybe I'm reading, whatever, they then proceed to wreak absolute havoc. And it's always started with Gorian. Gorian will start racing through the room, and he'll knock everything over, and then he'll watch me. So I know what he's doing. He'll run around the room, and then he'll stop, and he'll go like, and then the rest of them will follow suit. Being mean to me sent me a photo of Liam Hemsworth as some white hair guy. Rachel sent you a picture of Liam Hemsworth dressed as what Henry Cavill's supposed to be dressed like? That's what I'm hearing. Athena, I've had to rearrange myself too much. I'm going to have to stand up.
I don't know. Sounds gross.
I mean, I like hot men with white hair. I'm in for it. I'm ready. But I did want to point out something that happened. Look, you want to get down? You get down. Don't bitch at me. She mad because I had to stand up. Now, you guys have noticed I've had to move a lot less in this chair until an animal climbs on me. So anyways, you guys all remember the Walmart mom of recent, the one in Missouri, out here claiming. But this morning, I posted it on Twitter. I just want to point out, this woman came out fully dressed. Granted, it looks like she dressed in the closet, but she came out fully dressed with her little bonnet on and everything else. She made sure she was taken care of. She made sure she was set. Her child, and we were watching it last night on the Mother to Smother show, claiming it took too long or whatever. Her baby went out in just a diaper, okay? It was 20 degrees, and with the wind chill, it felt like 10. I need to show you guys. This morning, it was 38 degrees at my house, right? That's how my dogs went outside.
You see, it'll be 20 or something outside, and I won't.
But your dogs have long fur. My dogs.
Dogs look funny.
Oh yeah, they hated waiting. They hated waiting. They were so mad. But look, I make sure my dogs have a coat on. I make sure mine are taken care of. It should not be that difficult. She had that child out there, and then she threw frozen food on him. He was going, like, you could see him shaking. And then she had the audacity to throw frozen food on his bare fucking feet. And I'm
Hey,
just like,
LG.
hey, LG, if I can do that to dogs, took me less than 5 minutes to put coats. And those are not just like, you Velcro them. Those are full body coats where they got to put their legs through it and I got to zip it up. If I can do that for 2 fucking dogs, I know, Penny. I know. Insanity. Touch my lights one more time, bitch. Bitch. Stop.
I think she's saying no.
Oh no, she stopped touching him. She's just yelling at me over it now. What? No. Penny? Do I gotta spray a bitch? No. No. Good girl. But no, I just still marvel at. Do I gotta spray? Wow, you guys are vicious. Gerald or something. It's from Witcher.
Oh god, I need to remember to tell sheep back. So, I listen to these D&D horror stories,
Yeah.
and one of my favorite guys, I was listening to him read it earlier, and he was talking about how that guy modeled this character after bits and pieces of this, and I don't know if you'll catch it, but he said Elric of Melbone. I don't know if you've ever heard of Elric of Melnemede, and it's basically what The Witcher's based off of.
No, but Wilbone, I understand that.
And I'm just like, I died because I guess I get that I've probably it started out as a French dessinée, a French bande dessinée. It's a French comic book.
Smut.
No. No, it's literally what the guy who wrote The Witcher actually helped translate Elric of Melnemede into English. There's a huge controversy about him just stealing it for The Witcher.
I mean, is that bad?
To steal someone else's work?
No, is it that bad of a compare
Yes. When you get down to brass tacks, yes, it really is.
I'm saying, is it like Kimba the White Lion kind of thing going on here?
Well, the Kimba the White Lion thing's total bullshit.
I'm just saying, is it that kind of thing where you could literally go like, oh my god, they're identical almost. Also, I'm sending some candles and oh my god, damn, she's going all out.
Nice.
Apple don't do it because usually I don't know what it is about the Apple scents. They actually make me physically not feel okay. I don't know what it is about apple scented things.
What did we see the other day?
What?
Because it was funny because they had pumpkin spice cream cheese on sale, and we were both like, she would want that.
I couldn't find it. Where did you find it?
It was in one of our local grocery stores. It was in Albertsons, which is basically that would be like Kroger or something like that out there. I'm not sure.
They gifted to someone. Fine. I know exactly who I'll give it to.
What was it? Jesus Christ. Because there was something pumpkin spice and I looked at it and I am 100% positive even Star Sand wouldn't want that.
Wait, what was it?
That's what I'm trying to remember. It was something that should have never been pumpkin spiced.
Because I will tell you, I've had pumpkin spice ravioli. And pumpkin spice sausage.
Putting pumpkin in ravioli is actually normal. That happens.
Right, but I'm talking I had pork sausage. It was pumpkin spiced.
I don't remember what it was, but it was. I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, I don't think even Starson would eat that.
There's always something.
I wish Sheep was here. He'd remember.
Go summon him from downstairs. Hold the dog. Hold her above your head and be like, Sheep!
Oh, just outside the room.
Right?
No, he can't see me.
But whatchamacallit. No, there's definitely going to be an exception to every rule. Like pumpkin spice candy corn still a sin, so it doesn't matter. Nothing can save candy corn. So I will definitely say that. You know what?
That might have been what it was, though. I don't mean about that.
Pumpkin spice
I wish I
candy
could remember.
corn sounds like a sin. I think that would be something sinful. But then of course it could be just not minty. Then that would work. I don't know. Pumpkin spice mints. Anything mint and pumpkin spice, that's a sin.
That wouldn't work out.
Pumpkin spice toothpaste. No.
That would be wrong.
Like, I'm trying to think of things that if I was going to look at it and be like, fuck you, what it would be. Because it obviously wouldn't be body spray or anything like that, because I would absolutely 100%.
I want to say it was something savory. But not something savory in a way that, like, pork can work with sweet. Pork can work with a lot of things.
Was it like pumpkin spice steak?
I wish I could remember. I wish I had taken a picture.
You know it would not work? A pumpkin macaroni and cheese would work. A pumpkin spice macaroni and cheese would not work. Was that?
I mean, pumpkin's reasonably flavorless on its own, so yeah, that could work.
Not if you get good pumpkin. Like, that, I know the flavor of pumpkin. Now, all right, so maybe I should lie about this then. Because here's the thing, right? I have found I can taste and smell things most people can't. And I can taste and smell them in ways. For instance, the whole thing about tomato sauce tastes. Shut up, bitch! What? You always wait till I get into the conversation. The pumpkin spice everything is a crime. Jasmine, don't you start. And I'm getting a package from her too because Jasmine is actually technically gonna be like my first sponsor.
Ooh.
So you guys gotta get ready for that. I'm planning on this entire black wall, the up top, obviously. You want to see the cat? You want to see the bitch? There she is, Penny.
Now she's ignoring you.
That's how she do. Penny, what are you doing?
That was such a cat thing.
Oh my god, it's such a Penny thing. Like, she is insane. Like, my package will be here Wednesday. Oh my god.
Ooh, congratulations.
Whatchamacallit. So it's like, bitch, calm your hammer. What are you doing? Leave my stars alone. Yes. Yes. This is what I go through all day long, okay? I need you to understand this. And for the longest time, she hasn't entered this room. So I was safe if I was in here. But Penny has now gotten to the point, this is something we can get into. Anxiety-ridden animals will sometimes bond in a way where they're confident, but not. Exhibit
Did
A.
you just describe Sydney? Oh my god.
You ready for this?
And I mean, he doesn't have any reason to be traumatized. What the fuck?
He does. He don't. Like, Penny's life from start, from jump, has been trauma issues. Because, like, she was abandoned as a kitten. We found her in the soda machine. She was stuck in a cardboard box in 100-degree weather. Then when she came to me, you know, she had to get through all that. Then we had all these new animals introduction. Then she met dogs for the first time. And we had all the people staying in the house. So the anxiety was already there. Then we go to the summer of 2021 when bitch decides to almost die. Or was it 2022?
21.
Was it 2021?
Yeah, because we started this in 2022. No, we started this in 2023. So it was 2022.
Yeah, summer 2022 of him. There's wonderful pictures coming. I know there's a certain. Is it the print? Is it the print?
Are we talking the T-Rex guy?
How dare you? I will have you know, his hands can be as small as they want because his hips can lift 380. So lock him up, tiny hands. We going for a ride. So whatchamacallit, like with Penny, it makes sense. And then when we remove the couches, I'm not going to get into it, guys, but when cats have trauma, they leave gifts because of that trauma.
And they're not the good kind.
No. And we found her stash. And we had to clean it up. So then she got real bad, disappeared for a couple of days. And then when she came out, because she was going through, what was really sad was she was in a really confident state before that, where like she was sleeping out on her own without needing anyone around. She was sleeping on top of the dog crate. She was sleeping on the cat trees. She didn't care who was around. That was really, really good.
Mm.
Then we moved the couches. She backtracked. That was only a week though, which was like her quickest recovery time. And then when she came back out, she decided that if she's not near me, she's not happy. And at first, that just meant her screaming for me to come out there. Now that she's realized that no matter how much she screams, if I'm not coming out there, I'm not coming out there, she's taking it to me. And I didn't know at first. And this is why I'm saying pay attention to your animals, guys. Because we thought she'd be screaming for food, and that would placate her a little bit. We thought she screamed for water, which sometimes it was the case. But then when she continued to scream afterwards and she looked directly at me. And then the moment I'd walk in, if I went anywhere towards the couch, she would bound from the top of the fridge to the couch. I realized then what she wanted was me out there with her. That was all she wanted. Penny just doesn't want me gone. She doesn't, and that's her comfort. So because she realized that eventually I got to leave a room or eventually I got to go somewhere, Penny has now decided she's just going to have to be where I am. So for a hot minute, she was coming in here, which is why I've got this whole blockade over here, because she was literally tearing everything in here up. She pulled all of it. Like, this is all a mess. My desks are all a mess because her and Calliope tore everything up over here. Everything. To the point where I just wasn't able to keep track of any of it. I've got important documents. I got all sorts of things. That's why we're already talked about it. I need to get a filing cabinet. Now that we're adults and we have a mortgage and all sorts of things, I need to get the filing cabinet. That's besides the point. You know, the reason why I wanted to bring all that up, guys, is because if any of you get inspired, which you've told me you have, to be like me in horror and to adopt animals and to take on trauma cases and things like that, you have to be prepared for the fact that you're going to get animals that might become very closely bonded to you and will have a very hard time without you. Now, Penny, for the most part, does a very good job, but Penny's also a senior cat. She doesn't look it, but Penny's going to be 10 next year. You know, I found out you don't own a filing cabinet. Keep birth certificate. No, I keep it. Never mind. I won't tell you where I keep it. Just know it's not under the mattress.
Yeah, don't tell people online where you keep your private stuff. Jeez.
I was literally like that close because Jasmine and I talk so much, but it's always through text. Didn't occur to me for a second that I'm talking to her on chat.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit. It occurred to me this year that while yes, I lost Zorro, I just hit another milestone without even realizing it. 3 of my cats just hit 12 years old. All at once. As you guys know, Zorro was the first to hit 12 years old. But now Daisy, Aria, and Axel are all also 12.
I just realized Vincent's probably going to be 12 or 10 this year.
Yeah.
Because
this one is going to be 10 in 2016.
Well, maybe not 10. No. He should be. How old was she? She was probably 3. So he's probably going to be 7 this year. Okay, I'm good.
Good girl.
Alex is probably going to be 12 this. No. He should be about 2009. Oh my God.
Senior at. There she goes. Now Penny has decided she is done waiting in here. She's just left the room and crashed into every cat bowl on the way.
He is 12. Jesus.
Penny, so senior is 9 and above in cats. Any cat over 9 years old is considered senior. And Nova this year turns 10. Ow. And so it's just crazy me to realize all my animals are getting old. You know. Oh, who's texting me at this time of night?
It's Jasmine wanting to know where all your personal.
Right? It's actually probably Michelle or my dad. My dad sends me Tumblr. Oh, wait. I've got to show you all something hilarious. I got to show you all something hilarious. Hold on, I got to copy the link again.
Oh, is it nice, Grace?
What am I doing? I can just send it to you, and then I can access it through that. I'm so fucking stupid. There we go. Send. I've got something to share with you guys, and you'll like it. Refresh, please. Thank you. I hate it. I keep trying to pop my ear. If you guys wonder what I'm doing when I do that.
Yeah, I keep seeing you do it.
Yeah, it's ever since I got Orion, I've had a problem with my ear because he used to bark so loud that he damaged this ear, like really bad. And this eardrum is permanently busted up as a result. But let me see. Let me share. Just while applying for video editor jobs. Hold on. There was a YouTuber I just saw. Was it Kiana? There was someone I just saw. I'll have to look into it. But there was someone I saw who was looking for a video editor. And I was tempted. I was tempted. I'll look into it and I'll get back to you on that one, honey. Let me share this with you guys because this is funny.
Nights after did I?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah, he
listen,
shared
I
this
just
with me.
Let me see. I'm gonna have it restart. Don't read it yet.
Don't read the screen.
Don't read the screen yet. I'm
Don't look.
I'm waiting. Yeah, I can get to share it again.
one of you.
Don't read it yet.
No.
Don't read it yet. Don't read it yet. Don't read it yet. Okay. Here it comes.
But the second
Damn it. This takes way longer than I thought it did.
your heart. Give you another example of how I know you go too far with your dogs, America. 2 years ago, my father passed away of cancer. He died of cancer 2 years ago. And so 2 days after he passed away, my mother said, should we tell the dog? So my mother leaned down to the dog 2 nights after he died. He goes, hey, listen, I just want to let you know that Danny passed away 2 nights ago. After hearing that news, my dad's dog of 15 years climbed up into my dad's favorite chair and passed away that night. Not one of you gave a fuck about my dad. Not one of you gave 2 shits about the man that raised me. I told you my dad died and you could hear a pin drop in here. But the second I mentioned a dog that I made up, your hearts were broken. I'll give you another example.
And I was so mad because I was so called out. Because now I will say, you know, in my defense, when you start off with that, you want to hear the real, like, okay, your dad died. We get, all right, you're building it up. You're building it up. At the same time, maybe somebody should have been a little more sad.
Hey, my first thought was, oh, that sucks. But,
right? Like, oh.
But where's the joke going? Because this is only the beginning. I know how this pattern works.
Right. Still funny as fuck. The other one I found that I can't share is these ladies that were trying to get into whatchamacallit. They were trying to get into their house.
Oh, the one where she was wearing that top or
Not
the
for
dress,
long.
and
The woman,
everybody got a show.
I couldn't help.
My mother was sitting in her chair and she watched that, and she just started busting out laughing.
So these women, they were in England, and they were trying to get into their house, and they couldn't get in, so they wanted to climb into the windows. But the windows, the big part of the window, so you got to realize, imagine the windows like this, right? I'm sorry, Athena, but I need my hands. They were like this, and then there's a little flip window up top, okay? And there's a sill, about a foot tall outdoor sill. They stood up on that, and the one woman, she was wearing a one piece, one of those tube top one piece situations.
It was a dress, yeah,
It was
or maybe a
it was
jumper.
one of those pantsuit kind of things.
Yeah.
Like a jumper, tube top jumper, good idea, with long pants. Okay, so she kicks off her flip flops and she stands on her friend's shoulders, and her friend pushes her up into there. And at first, it's going, eh. Then she gets in, and then she gets stuck, and then her leg can't bend, and as she gets stuck, she slides forward, her dress slides back, her titties are flying all over the place, and she's slowly sliding, tits out, and then her
And
leg
they get
gets
mashed up against the window.
and she's like, "Woo! Woo!" You hear her screaming. Her friend is doubled over laughing, and then, like a sack of potatoes, her leg gets unstuck from the flip window. She just kind of slops into a big ball on the other side of the window. Guys, when I tell you, I couldn't breathe watching it. It was too much.
It was beyond.
Oh my god. But I will say it's getting towards 1 a.m. and you and I are starting to get a little goofy. Now, granted, it's a little later my time, but you didn't get your dessert tonight, so.
No, I had my dessert.
What was your dessert?
I made kolache this weekend.
Okay, so I had those at freaking Buc-ee's. They were not, like, everyone's like, oh, the kolaches are amazing. I'm talking like we had Polish people telling me this.
Those aren't real kolache.
I was like, they were okay. But I'm from Rhode Island. I'm Italian. I know pastries. I've had better.
The ones that they have in Texas, I mean, some of them can be really good, but let me put it this way: you're not going to get the best kolache at Buc-ee's.
Yeah, this is good, but it ain't that good.
But I mean, and it might vary by region. My family is Czech, and so I make a very.
These are very Polish. These ones, but it's like
that might be part of the difference because mine are Czech. They're definitely. It's an enriched bread pastry. It's not a butter pastry or a flaky pastry. It's a slightly more dense.
It was
pastry.
It was very dense. It was like, okay. See, I don't know if you know what I'm going to talk about. Have you ever had egg biscuits? Okay, that answer is no. So, I'm trying to think of either way what it was a very white, very dense bread like.
It is it is more bready. It is literally so you've had enriched bread, right? And an enriched bread dough, that's the recipe, is an enriched bread dough recipe. It's basically your basic bread dough with flour. You add a stick of butter and you let it rise. And you add a stick of butter and some lemon zest, and then you let it rise, and then you roll it out and you do the stuff to it. Now, how thick or how heavy it's going to be is going to depend on your family. What?
Keep talking. I got something to tell you afterwards.
Oh God, it's going to depend on the family and the recipe and the quality of your flour and all that. So the ones I made, in my opinion, they're bready because it's a bread recipe, but they're not like dense bready. They're lighter, but not like really light. They're a good bread roll kind of ish consistency. And I filled them with some cream cheese and some of my homemade strawberry preserves. And Yeah, they came out great. I'm happy.
You and I had a debate once about a certain Blondie's recipe.
Oh, that.
I'm going to be in your kitchen at some point this
Mm.
I think we should settle the debate.
Mm.
And I think we should do it live.
Mm. I get the feeling I won't get out of this.
What if you end up liking it? Saints alive.
What if I end up realizing it still tastes like chalk?
Then you win. You get the pleasure of telling the eternal, insufferable star son you were right and she was wrong.
I've done that before.
Yes, but this time you'll have actual proof.
I had proof the last times too. You were just as pissed then.
Listen, the only thing that I was pissed about
because I was right. Anyway.
You know what? Hold on. Bad horror, bad. I have a weapon for a reason. But alrighty. Horror, why don't you start us out? Take us on the outro.
I think I'm actually going to take a break this week and not stream tomorrow. I have been on the last few weeks been playing that other game. Pal World's the other game I've been playing with sheep. The game I normally play on Tuesdays is it's that one where the cute little animals beat each other up. I can't remember it.
That's Pal World.
No, it's a different cute little animals beat each other up.
Pokemon? Like
No. It's a brawling game.
Which one?
It's God damn it. I'm gonna have to open up my Steam now so I can remember the goddamn name because I can't. It's Party Animals. That one.
Party Animals.
Yeah, it's
when
yeah.
it's little sock puppet animals. I got you.
Yeah. So we've been doing that the last few weeks, and last week instead of doing that, I think Sheep and I played Pal World. This week I think I'm just gonna actually go ahead and take Tuesday off. Wednesday, Shags is feeling better. He's semi-recovered, so we should be doing the show tomorrow night. Wednesday night, and well, I mean technically on your time zone, it is tomorrow night, so nearly. Close enough. And on Thursday, I will be starting In the Mountains of Madness by Lovecraft on my reading stream. That might take, I imagine it'll be at least 2 streams to finish that one. It might be 3, because again, long story.
Is it like several chapters book or like Lovecraft?
I mean,
as far as I know, is not known for short books.
Technically, I mean, he's got short stories, but it's still technically a short story. But I mean, it's the difference between being a short story that's 5 pages long and a short story that's, hold on. Holy shit, this one's definitely going to be more than, well, I don't know, the last one. So that's Innsmouth. Where is the page?
I just remembered that because the animals just had a fight. They've broken 3 of my mugs this week, by the way.
Oh, shit.
One of them is actually sentimental. Pretty pissed about that. And I just remember back to the first time chat ever heard me yell at my animals. And I came back and there was like, I sat down. I was like, I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm sorry. Like everyone was.
Aww.
They heard the real Auntie Cassie voice come out.
So yeah, it's about 90 pages long. So still short story range, but still a lot to read out loud. So.
And Dad, what were you doing?
Probably fucking around.
Yes. He's the reason because he goes after Penny because he can't resist. He sees her. His eyes go from this to. And he goes up. He literally latches onto literally her butt cheeks. He goes straight for her butt and bites. And I'm like, why? But anyways, so that is what you guys can look forward to. But give the lady a break. She's going to take tomorrow off. Never mind.
Yeah. That's Thursday. Friday will be Pal World.
I don't know why my tongue is still stuck on the D.
Saturday will be Neverwinter Nights. Sunday will be Power World. And then I might come and spend time with Starsan again. I don't know.
She's gonna be too stuck on that D. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
I mean, she'll be happy anyway.
never mind. Anyways. Don't want to get demonetized. Anyways, so
Oh, wait, we're
as for
monetized?
me, again, and at least we didn't use the BBC this time for it. So I will be on tomorrow at noon. Yes, I will actually be on. As you guys saw, we were on yesterday. I was on today. I'm getting back into it. Go over why we almost weren't, because we almost lost the entire scheduling that I did. I'll tell you afterwards the whole thing. And otherwise, guys, there should be 3 new videos this week if I can get fucking DaVinci to listen, because I just found a bunch of free plugins to really upgrade my editing. I gotta figure it out.
That's what she thought. Anyway.
That's right. Shh. I don't want to be my famous last words. And then next Sunday, I will be here with Mother to Smothered. And then your women that are virtually impossible.
Your women that's virtually impossible? What's virtually impossible?
Not being perfect.
Oh, okay.
Whatchamacallit. And then Monday I'll be back here with my lovely StarMorata, and we'll probably have a more concise plan about what we're going to be doing. We'll discuss it over the next week, because obviously it's all money. I've got to take care of a couple of big bills before I can even, put any money down for this. But, that's neither here nor there. Otherwise, guys, remember to get your animals spayed and neutered. Remember to get them vaccinated. Head pat puppies. Says Batu, are you okay, honey?
No, I think he's just telling you to head pat the puppies.
Oh. Ryan, Greta! Come here.
I'd head pat mine, but she's on the floor right now.
Oh, they're laying with Matthew, so they don't like getting up from my bed. My bed is very comfortable. Orion, here.
I'm looking forward to my bed tonight.
Yeah,
So.
they got it down. Come here, buddy. Yeah, Athena, why don't you get down? Come here, buddy. People are demanding head pats. Hop up. Hop. I know, you just woke up.
It's like you woke me up for this. Aww.
Boy.
Who's a big boy?
He's a baby boy. Your ears are cold. You gotta go to bed. Whatchamacallit. But now you guys go. You guys didn't see that his ear was all stuck in a weird angle. But remember to get your animals spayed and neutered. Remember to get them vaccinated for the proper things. Remember to get them microchipped. Remember to tell the people that are important to you that you love them and to be safe. Horror.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
Be safe.
You too.
And have a great night, everyone. I love Stars Channels. Someone finally realized it. It only took a year. Yes, that's where I got it from. Have a great night, everybody. We will see you next week. And hopefully,
Night.
well, you'll see 3 videos from